Hello. This week, Dumfries and Galloway, NHS Dumfries and Galloway are holding their annual Sexual Health Week to promote sexual health in the region. And unusually this year they're considering the issue of sexual pleasure. Now, we all hope that our sexual experiences will be fulfilling and pleasurable, but for the Sexual Health Service to be explicitly discussing and promoting this is a bit of a departure. Previously, the focus has been very much on clinical issues, things like contraception, sexually transmitted diseases, and obviously when sexual things go wrong or don't work properly. So we went to talk to Fiona Gleghorn, who is the lead nurse for sexual health with NHS Dumfries and Galloway. And we started out by asking her why she felt that there needed to be a bit of a change in approach.
As you said earlier, in the past we have concentrated on the very clinical things, and it's very easy within sexual health to get really bogged in on the negative stuff, rates of teenage pregnancy, rates of sexually transmitted infection. And just talking to people who use the service, we decided we needed to get a bit more sex positive. So capitalising as well a wee bit on the 50 Shades Of, which everybody's talking about as a brilliant holiday read, we decided to go with the Shades Of Pleasure. And that was really why we picked that title. And it probably gives us as a department a chance to look at sex much more positively as an enjoyable thing.
Next, we asked Fiona about what it was that had made having these sorts of conversations about sexual pleasure difficult in the past.
I think it's always been, we have a very West of Scotland culture where sexual things are exceptionally private. A lot of people think it's very dirty. It's something that we don't talk about. Even between couples, it's quite a difficult thing to communicate, especially if there is difficulty. And I think generally people find that just talking about it in general is it's hard, it's embarrassing, they don't know the right language to use, whereas within the department we talk about it all day long, and you become very blasé about it. So it's encouraging people to think about it and not be embarrassed, because after all it's something that the majority of us participate in.
Yes. And do you think that their attitudes are changing? Because I mean, what you describe, it sounds a little bit Victorian.
I think people are starting to think a bit more widely about it. Sexual diversity is much more acceptable socially as it used to be. Younger people are much more open in terms of their sexual habits, the number of partners that they have. We're getting away from this where people are in a long-term relationship for their whole adult life. We see lots of relationships breaking up. So you're getting lots of older people who are having to explore sexual issues at a much later age and are having to change the way they think about things. So I think very slowly things are changing.
And next we asked Fiona about what plans the department had for activities, promotional activities during Sexual Health Week.
Well, as much media exposure like this as we can possibly get, lots in all the local newspapers. I think there's got to be one of our pub quizzes is the Standard are running. We've got some pub quizzes across the region as well. That's been largely aimed at the student population, but anybody's welcome to come along to one of the places that these are being held. We're also part of the Big Burn Supper within the town, which is being run within Dumfries Town Centre, so we'll be dipping into things like that. And on our website, people can access all sorts of information. And for other professionals, we've got a briefing, what we call a briefing tool, where they can access information. And we have loads of resources within the department that we're happy to lend out or give away freely, just again to try and make things a bit more accessible.
And the Big Burn Supper, you're going to be in the tent?
Well, I think we're having some promotional material in the tent, but we also hope to be in the Lower Burn Centre with a polling, like a voting booth, where people can come and write down things that they find very pleasurable. So it gives us a good idea. It's a bit like a sort of population survey.
So next we asked Fiona the million-dollar question: is sex good for you?
On many levels, it's exceptionally good for you. It's good for your physical health, it's exercise, it helps with all the good and positive hormones in your body. It's exceptionally good for your mental health. Being in a happy, stable relationship, having a happy, fulfilling sex life is very good for us generally, holistically, as human beings.
Good. So what about the oldest excuse in the book then, I've got a terrible headache?
Sex is much better than paracetamol. It gets all those happy hormones going. There's some pain killing substances or chemicals in your body that are released with sexual activity, so not a good excuse.
Right. I'll always remember that. Obviously, Fiona, many people make excuses today because they're too tired or they don't have time. I wonder what tips you can give people just to try and get over some of those difficulties.
Probably not seeing sex as a chore, which, as you say, when everybody's busy, it becomes a bit of a chore. But actually building it into your lifestyle, making it one of your relaxation activities. Some nice wine, some nice mood lighting, candles in front of the fire, a break for the kids, some you time, and making it a relaxing thing that's to be enjoyed rather than something that you just slot in because you have to, really.
That sounds very appealing.
Exceptionally appealing. Yep. Yep.
Excellent. So obviously, you said earlier you were going to pass some sort of leaflets and stuff out there. Where else can folk get information about all of this?
I suppose the most easily public access, if they don't want to come into the department, but people can phone up the department. We'll send out any kind of information to them. We have a website, which is the See For Yourself website, and if you Google sexual health in Dumfries, it'll pull up that website, and there's loads of stuff on there that you can access. There's how to get in the department, there's a whole briefing tool about Sexual Health Week, and lots of other resources that you can have access to with information.
So there we are. Many thanks, Fiona, for speaking to us today. And I would encourage you all to look out for the shades of pleasure activities that are going on around the region next week. Thank you very much for listening.